Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading for August 2020. This is going to be for Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Rising. You may have planets in the sign of Capricorn. You may be in love with a Capricorn. You were intuitively guided to the channel and you're not even in Capricorn. You know, whatever brought you, welcome. And thank you for choosing the video. I really, really appreciate it. I know there's a lot of content out there. You know, just be careful what you're listening to, you know, that you resonate with your reader also. You know, that means with me, you may not resonate with me. But when you get into tarot, definitely you want to, I don't know, you want to feel like you're part of soul family almost. So, anyways, Capricorn, one of my favorite people in the world is a Capricorn. That's my granddaughter Faith. She has the best personality until you get her angry. But she is so creative, you know, and Capricorn, that is you. You really are, I feel like, the creative sign of the astrology, and you're someone who, when you believe in something, you're willing to put everything behind it. And that's why many times Capricorn is very successful. Capricorn is also a sign of loyalty. Now, I know those who were in love with a Capricorn and may have gotten hurt by a Capricorn will say otherwise. But generally, you know, if they're in the light, they're very loyal. It's really what Capricorn wants is loyalty back too, right? Don't give them the loyalty back. I feel like Capricorns almost will act like an air sign and whoosh, cut you off. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into your reading. We're going to take a moment and just calm our minds. I, as always, ask my spirit guides to invite whatever spirit guides will be nudging certain people to the reading whenever you're meant to see it. So don't worry about the time-wise, like, oh, well, you know, this was last month. That doesn't matter. If you feel guided to the reading and then you feel your messages, just trust within it, okay? Because time is fluid. But I have to put something on your reading, right? So that's why I do it monthly. All right, my loves, we're going to start with the Good Tarot. Not normally the deck I pull for you, but I felt called to pull it for August, so let's go ahead and do it. Let's see what's going on. More and more people are being nudged to this channel, and I just know it's, you know, how the guides work. So I am so open to that. I almost hate putting, well, I shouldn't say that on Capricorn's reading, because I know you want your reading, and you deserve your reading. But I also feel that because there's so many of us that are like-minded, we can all relate to really everyone's reading in one way or another. So keep an open mind when it comes to that. Okay, we start with the Page of Pentacles. And then we have the Five of Swords. We have the Nine of Swords. You know, I feel like a few of you are trying to figure out in your life, like, why have I let certain people into my life? Or why have I put up with certain things or people that really pull me down, right? Really make me get in my head, which is not the most comfortable place to be. And I'm talking about in my thought system, like they seem to take over my thought system. But you have control of that, especially with the Page of Pentacles opening up this reading. really your energy. So you do have control of that. And I feel like some of you are, this is what you're learning right now. You know, you're learning how previously, you know, the way people talk to you, just certain energy that doesn't fit with yours, and you're trying to figure out, some of you, trying to figure out, why do I allow that, right? Why did I allow that? Why do I allow other people to take me to the point of anxiety, of depression, of worry, you know, when maybe the majority of this is not my worry to begin with. So I like that you're analyzing that. That tells me it's something that you want to eliminate from your life, you know, that you're looking for some major growth in, you know, standing up for yourself, saying no when you want to say no. I feel like someone out there, it's like, I keep saying yes, 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 when I don't have the time, right? But nonetheless, this is beautiful reflection over it. Why? So that you can see it. And once you see it, then you know it. And once you know it, you tend to change other people's ability to take you to that place. Look at that, and the tower. I'm not really nervous about this tower. Not that the tower makes me nervous anyway. But the tower usually is the energy of something that happens quickly and makes us in some way very uncomfortable. Can talk about, you know, the breakup of relationships. It can talk about the cutting of ties to different people. But I feel like more than anything, this is talking about a reflection over learning. I want to learn about myself, and I want to learn about how I'm in some way allowing other people to somewhat control my life, right? Because I feel like the tower comes down on you, and I don't feel like this is, I feel like this is more than once. So, you know, the tower to me is out of your control. It's something that happens that's really out of your control, at least at that time. You know, could we have done something earlier to change that outcome? Of course, we always have free will, right? We're always at a crossroads, so to speak, asking the questions. And that's exactly what I feel like we're meant to do. But nonetheless, it's definitely showing us the energy of being in one's head. And therefore, it almost feels like I've been living a life that I just don't feel like I was meant to. Why? Why? What I love is, you know, with the Page or even the Knight of Pentacles, is when you start seeking the answers here, I feel like you find them. You definitely find the answers. Okay. So Talk Bro doesn't look so great, right? But in reality, it really is good. Because this is the ability to eliminate that toxic type energy. And see, you know, why it kept coming up. So once I know that, I can eliminate that also. Boy, you're getting a lot of swords. We have the Two of Swords, and then we have the Seven of Swords. Interesting. Wow, a lot of swords. Now, Two of Swords comes up, so that tells me that the chances are someone is at a crossroads. Someone is thinking of a change, and I'm seeing that with the Five. But below that, we have the Seven of Swords. So this is energy that I can't really trust, or I don't really trust, right? And that may be what this tower is for some of you. It could certainly be relationships where, you know, you don't feel like you could trust them, whether that be love, work, family, right? It's just the energy of, like, I feel like there's the trust level is just not good. And why? Well, chances are You are planning on making a change, a move, but you're still in your head over it. So what it's talking about is there's still some fear-based energy around this decision. However, I feel like given time and as you seek the answers, I feel like this will clear itself up. And let's see. We have the Three of Wands, and we have the Death card coming under the Tower. So the Death card is the card of Scorpio, first and foremost. It's the number 13. I don't know why in this deck that number stands out to me. It's the energy of, some of you, of course, this could be talking about someone that you've lost very unexpectedly, and since that point have truly been in your head. With the Three of Wands coming out after that, though, it's, if this is a loved one, and we'll clarify, we'll get deeper. But for some of you, I already know that it is. It's the energy of someone saying to trust yourself, like trust yourself, and make that move, make that change, because the Death card is about the end of something, right? It's final. But it's not something we are told to resist, because truly it brings, well, think about it, death is a release of all these heavy human emotions and illnesses, and now it's not talking like we are crossing over, but what it's saying is when we put an final end to something, to these tower moments that seem to come from for some of you, someone you don't trust, or people you don't trust, that boom seem to put you in your head. This is what I feel like you're asking yourself: should I just end it with them and move on? There's more, when I look at the page of Earth compared to everything that's out here, it's like there's more out there, right? There's more out there in my physical world that I want to go after, or your soul wants to go after. Seeing if we had any double numbers. We don't as of yet. We have the Empress. You know what? I feel like some of you are learning that you are the Empress. You're at, it's like you're at that final stage of the Empress. And the Empress would not allow all these heavy swords. Why? Because she understands them, right? She's done her own reflection. She definitely has done her own reflection. And therefore, she becomes very strong within herself, but she also develops a sense of empathy and compassion, which is too beautiful. You're right, empathy and compassion, along with this strong, I want to say woman, but it can certainly be a man too. Don't forget that if you're a male watching, you could definitely be the Empress, right? It's just about the energy that she carries. So, some of you just figuring this out. And, if I'm the Empress, but I don't quite know that yet, I tend to already have some of that empathy. So I tend to allow certain people, or maybe all people, to use me to a point, right? They abuse me. They abuse the help or the love that I give to them. They take advantage of it, and it results, in the tower over and over and over again. So You know, it's about the reflection over why that keeps happening, the changing of your energy from the Nine of Swords, which is worry, to the Three of Wands, which is about being optimistic about my future, coming to the Death card. The reason how I get here is I decide that enough is enough. Enough is enough. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So that could be your energy, another Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. We have the Seven of Pentacles. Beautiful. Looking right at that Queen of Pentacles. Looking right at that Queen of Pentacles with the Three of Wands above it. And then we have the Three of Swords coming under the Death card. Well, that makes total sense, right? And, you know, what I feel like is some of these hard times that you've been going through, they are karmic. You know, what does that mean? A lot of people, you know, like, oh, karma's going to be on you. What that means is what we, how do I say this? What we do to someone else, we better expect it to come back to us, whether it be this lifetime, next lifetime, whatever it is. It's energy that, we carry back, and good or bad, by the way, good or bad. You know, I often feel like when we're in a very giving type energy, we just keep receiving, right? We give, we receive, we give, we receive. But when we're in our head, it seems to stop everything, right? Hold me in place. Gives me the opposite of optimism. So, anyways, however, the Seven of Pentacles is looking right back at the Queen of Pentacles, which is coming out of the energy of the Empress. So, what this is showing me is absolutely some of you are developing into this Empress energy. And I've gotten this for another sign this month. I can't remember who. But I did get that where a lot of people are developing into this type of energy, and the energy of something that's really meant to be. Now, a lot of people don't like it when I say this, but because of the swords, of some of the things that I've gone through, some of the toxicity, part of my lesson is seeing it so I can put an end to it. It is part of a lesson plan, let's say. It's part of the chapter, and you're learning, you know, you're getting to that end of the chapter where you can easily pass the test because you have reflected upon it, and that has changed your energy. It brings you more to a much more uplifted type of energy. But the Seven of Pentacles is saying these are the lessons. Some of this is karma that was just meant to be. You know, why is it meant to be? To give you soul growth, to allow you to turn into, not to turn into, because you already are, to bring out your Empress energy. You know, Empress energy is a great leader, and, you know, leads with strength, but compassion and empathy at the same time. Why? Because they have been there. They have walked many people's shoes. They understand the plight. So, yeah, I just feel like this has been a pretty karmic time for you, and probably has not been the easiest of times. However, again, I feel like it is ready to come to an end, right? It is ready to come to an end. Once you have this reflection of simply, I feel like, why do I keep allowing certain people or certain things to keep entering into my life? Or maybe they've never even left, right? If it's family, like, why do I keep allowing their energy to affect my energy? Their decisions to ultimately end up being my decision when you have something different planned. Jesus, we have the Page of Swords on the bottom of the deck. That's okay. Because I feel like that is exactly what it is. It is a Queen of Cups underneath that. For some of you, the Queen of Cups could be, the energy could be someone who, especially since we have Scorpio here too, who has brought in these tower moments for you. Let's use a Cosmic Tarot. And let's break this down. One more. I do feel like there's someone who may, like break up with you and then make up and then break up and then make up. I feel like they've, really torn your heart to pieces. And ultimately, it has to be up to you to end that cycle of that. No longer, the Empress would not accept that, right? The Empress would not accept that type of energy. She would expect, not that she, listen, if I don't know the Emperor, I don't know I have this Empress energy in me, right? That I can be both strong and soft at the same time. It's easy because of this empathy and compassion that I carry to allow people to walk on me until I make that fulfillment of looking at it for what it truly is, right? What it truly is. It's like, don't lie to yourself. Be completely honest with yourself, because I feel like someone just keeps bringing you heartbreak. Maybe over and over. Again, maybe 3 times. Maybe 9 times. But ultimately, I feel like if it happened again, it's the same thing. It would end in heartbreak. And I feel like for those of you, all of our guides are working for us. We are, at least my belief is, we are assigned a spiritual team that works with us through our whole lives. We just have to get in tuned with them, right? We have to find their tune. And sometimes that's just, with all these swords, it'd be very hard to feel or see the signs. But something does. Something shakes you up enough where you're willing to take the journey of really examining this and eventually putting an end to it. And I do feel like this is what some of your guides want you to see. Like, they want you to see that. And I feel like as it relates to love, someone's looking at someone like, I don't know if, I feel like I thought you were meant to be in my life. Like, I truly, truly believed that you were meant to be in my life. Now, this can talk about a job too. I truly believe this was the direction I was meant to go. But, the Seven of Pentacles is looking back at the Queen like, well, this was not your seed of intention past this certain point, right? It was to learn the lesson, pick up the reward, and then continue on. But you kind of got stuck, like the hamster wheel. You kind of got stuck. But that's okay, because once you know that, then you can make real changes. I don't remember if I cut these. I don't think I did. Alright, let's start. That's weird, I'm shuffling them like this. Doesn't even feel natural. Maybe someone's doing something right now, like it literally doesn't feel natural to you, and in a somewhat negative undertone. All right, we have the Eight of Swords. Enough with the swords. We have the Queen of Wands. So first of all, the Queen of Wands is what I call our intuitive queen. Everyone's intuitive, but she's the one who moves on it. She's the fastest one to move within her intuition, to feel what is right and what is not right. You know, she had to start at the beginning just like the rest of us. But what she carries is that Eight of Swords energy. And this Page of Pentacles, that's exactly what it's looking at, the Eight of Swords energy. How do, you know, what kind of traps have I set for myself? And how do I get out of them? How do I eliminate them, right? Let's look at the Eight of Swords. That's about a self-created energy. Self-created. Nine of Swords is where I end up if I don't figure this out. I have the potential of ending up like in depression and a lot of sadness and a lot of, you know, my self-worth feels like it's knocked down, probably pretty big knocked down. But why though? Because of what other people have done to you, have said to you. There's a lot of swords, so some of this has to be in the way that someone communicates to you or someone had communicated to you. But this is clearing that up, right? Queen of Wands would look at those swords. And by the way, you are every sign unless, you know, I feel differently. But the Queen of Wands, by the way, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, potentially. She could be also someone who, she or he, who is, feels a little bit toxic to you. We have the Prince of Pentacles, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. It's going to be of a younger time. This can be the energy for some of you of how your mother spoke to you when you were a child, when you were young. And, you know, I feel like it probably affected your self-worth. And therefore, you know, you allowed things in your life where otherwise you probably wouldn't have. I think you're starting to realize that. And it's not even about judging my mother here. It's just about seeing the pattern, and therefore it explains why I'm in the shoes I'm in right now. So Three of Wands tells me I'm looking for that change. Here's that Seven of Pentacles again, coming over the Tower, and that's exactly what I felt over here, where the Seven of Pentacles is looking right at you saying, you know, some of these painful experiences, they are part of your soul's desires. Why? So that you could have tremendous expansion within your soul in this lifetime, right? It is about this lifetime and what you gain, what you learn from it. Because eventually, you know, I feel when we cross over, we become a teacher from our experiences. So we can't do that unless we've had experiences. So I do feel like it's just, you know, it's hard to say that, but nonetheless, if we look at it for the reason why it shows up to give you some type of gain. All right, here's the Empress again. Look at that. Over the Two of Swords. Some of you are just trying to figure out, am I the Empress? Am I the Empress? The answer is yes. You just may not feel it yet. We have the Six of Wands. We have the Chariot. Beautiful. We have the Four of Cups. I feel like this Four of Cups just popped up, and the energy I'm feeling from it is, you know, what has happened to me that put me in the Eight of Swords energy. Again, that self-created prison, let's say. I feel within that Seven of Swords, or Seven of Cups, that I kind of became comfortable in the uncomfortableness. Right? I kind of, you know, it's like maybe I wanted to change, but it seemed overwhelming what change actually means, right? Changing of my address. Oh my gosh, it means I've got to move. It means I've got to pack. That means I've got to find a place. All that, and kind of putting it off. Putting it off. However, I do feel like that this reading is about the change that is starting to happen in your life. I feel like it's already starting to happen. So I have the Chariot that's coming over the Three of Wands. First of all, a Chariot is a card for Cancer. Also touching the Nine of Swords. It's that fear-based type energy. This is moving from that. This is about balance. How do I receive balance? Reflection. The reflection over the things that don't work in my life, looking for the pattern and what is my part in it. Because ultimately, this is your life and you get to control your life, even though sometimes you feel like you can't. I feel like, again, we're always at that crossroad of, do I stay? Do I go? Do I continue? Do I find something new? I found this a lot in Sagittarius' reading. I also feel the energy of you then using this energy to help others. I feel like in the Six of Wands, this is about people looking at you differently, maybe different than you're used to. This is about people understanding your perspective now, right? You're at the top of the mountain here and people are listening to you, but you had to get to the Empress energy, right? And I feel like whatever that is, however you want to use it, you can really take it anywhere. Use it in many different ways in your life. But you had to overcome. What did you have to overcome? I feel like for some of you, it's a person. And I feel for others, it's just the way, in general, I allow people to treat me. I allow, maybe maybe it's particular people, but how I allow them to speak to me. And not just that. Let's say we have no control, how they speak to us. We do have control whether we take it on, whether we, because I have the Seven of Swords here, and I feel like, why would I believe anything that comes out of certain people's mouth? They're coming from very low energy. Well, that's simple, because this self-created prison puts you in a lower type energy. So I'm taking it on. Maybe I'm trying to protect myself from it, but also within trying to protect myself from it, I am eliminating options for myself, right? Becoming comfortable in the uncomfortableness type of thing. But that doesn't have to be. That just doesn't have to be. Okay, let's keep going. You know how I usually in my readings have a lot of, like lovers coming back, and a lot of times it's, I feel like they've had a lot of growth. Well, this month I feel like same thing. There are lovers who made it to try to come back into our life, but I want you to remember the energy that they put you in. Don't just think about the first year and the romance there. Think of the end. Like be very aware. We have Justice coming over the Empress. Many times that's karmic justice. That's the balance of the yin and the yang, right? It's the balance of the light and the dark. It's the energy of making you, yourself, feel whole again. What does feeling whole mean? It means that the Eight of Swords energy is out of here, right? Those armors are put down. I'm not living from the energy of fear. And, when I think about my future, I'm afraid to take chances. I'm afraid to do this. I'm afraid to do that. No, this is allowing all that to end, especially with the tower. You know, the tower, it's like we hate that tower, but yet that tower almost always brings us a blessing. And sometimes it does remove, you know, a romantic, let's say, relationship from us. But that is only so something better can come in. Because look at the energy you were in. Look at the energy you're now moving into. If, because we have the Two of Swords here, if I allow myself to, right? If I allow myself to see the growth and the potential. If once I've had this review, I then use this information to help others who will look up to you. They will look up to you, who may be in similar situations. And then you help free them. And isn't that quite beautiful? Maybe you don't even mean to do that, but you do it. Because the Queen of Wands following that Eight of Swords, I just feel like there's no way she's going to allow herself to stay in that energy much longer. And, you know, before I move on, I just want to say one more thing. I do feel like a lot of this is also talking about how you grew up and just how communication was. And maybe from that point on, you have just found yourself in a repeating pattern of that toxic type of energy. So that tower is a blessing. But here you are. Here someone is like, do I do it again? Can I trust them this time? Right? I feel like with the Empress here and this justice between them, the answer is no. You know, not in that type of energy. Okay, let's keep going. You know, it's interesting because you do have a lot of similarities of the Sagittarius reading, and Queen of Wands here certainly could be talking about that. So some of you might want to check that out, or you might have Sagittarius in your chart. This is your own reading, don't get me wrong, but I definitely feel like the two of them kind of talk similar. Okay. We have the Hierophant, card of Taurus, first of all, coming over the Queen of Pentacles, looking over at the Empress. Well, hello, Nine of Pentacles. I feel this all the time in my reading. Many times when we cut out the toxic people or the toxic energy, and that can also be from ourselves, like things that we do that hold ourselves back. Once we have that realization and then cut the ties to it, right? Come from, you know, don't forget your belief system. That's what the Hierophant talks about. Don't forget about your own belief system. And it's about that higher energy. So I feel often when we eliminate that toxic energy, we're then guided towards something of all of our own. It's like, it's mine, of our own. I don't mean that in a selfish way, but it is of my making, belongs to me. And for many of you, I feel like it is about a business. It is about your creativity. It's about how you make your money. And boy, I have to say, I could just imagine being in the beginning energy, right, trying to make money, trying to be creative. It must have been nearly impossible to maybe this is why you were pushed to have this reflection. Maybe for some of you, it is because you are going to be seen as someone who can be very helpful, right? And then maybe you're creating a business out of that. Maybe it was meant to be. Maybe it was all meant to be. And the Hierophant, I feel like, is talking about a very a high spiritual type energy. We have the Star, card of Aquarius, first of all, but that is your hopes, that is your dreams, and that is your wishes. We have the Ten of Wands, and then we have the World, which is all about a new chapter, right? Death card says, reflect, look at it for what it truly is, even, you know, be brave and look at your part in it also, right? See the patterns so that you can ultimately put a clear and final ending. No more heartbreak in that way. I'm not going to say you never get your heart broke again. You know, that's, I don't know, but not from this energy anyway. And I feel like, you know, what happens once that toxic energy starts to leave you? Well, the Ten of Wands explains it perfectly, right? Because it's coming with the Star and then the World. So the Ten of Wands is the energy of taking on other people's burdens, feeling responsible for taking on their burdens. It can just be the burden of life on top of everything else. But there is a sense of responsibility within the Ten of Wands energy. I feel that. And I feel like, so this is what you felt earlier, right? Which put you in this sword energy. And I feel like once, again, it's almost like having an awakening, which completely changes your energy. It takes you from night to day into the Chariot energy, where you can really create, and not just create, but this is where you can truly, this is when, you know, Capricorns enjoy their work, if they're in tune with it, and if they're in tune with their work, they are hard to pull away from their work, right? Some of you have been wanting to open your own business, start your own business, use your creativity in a way where it can earn you money. And I know some of you are going to, in some way, help others to overcome their Ten of Wands. The World card, which is right next to it, talks about this next chapter. And I have to feel, you know, the World card is the closest card to heaven. This is the most spiritual time in our life, and it's mixed in with your money. It's also mixed in with your hopes and your dreams. And the Hierophant. So this is a higher type of energy. Oh, well, I mean, again, so much higher than what it was, right? And through that energy, your creative avenues just open up. And I feel like the World card is just saying, this gives you the opportunity to do whatever it is that you've wanted to do, or what you've been thinking about that you would like to do. Or maybe you're already doing, but it's been hard. You know, it's been hard because of that energy. Cut that out. It seems like the opposite. I know I keep saying that, but it does. It just seems like the opposite past that point. So, you know, the Hierophant is looking right at justice. And justice is about having balance. So I feel like the Hierophant is like saying, to get to the point of the Empress and have this balance within, it comes from believing in yourself again. Up here, I feel like that was taken away from you. Here, you're believing in yourself again, which really opens all these new avenues. I feel like that's what the Star is for you. It's new avenues that are opening up, and it is of your seed of intention. This tells me this is something that was meant to be. And that means, you know, if it was meant to be in this type of energy, that means you're going to rock it. You know, you are going to rock it, but it requires, you know, it requires your spirituality to be part of your life now. So, beautiful. Okay, Guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. I am going to do an oracle card. It's weird. I didn't feel the urge to do an oracle card for most of the zodiac this month, but I'm doing one, and Sagittarius, I felt pulled to do one. So again, a little bit of a similarity there. If you get the same card, then I'll just be like, what the heck? I pay attention to all the signs, the synchronicities, the patterns. I look for it all. And it reveals itself. Sometimes we just don't want to see it. Okay. Well, that wanted to come out. Caring. Heaven cares for me, and I keep my heart open to caring about others, myself, and the world. And that's exactly what I felt like within that Empress energy and the Nine of Pentacles. Let's read from the book, though. Caring. Mother Mary sent you this card as a reminder that she cares deeply for you and your family. Although you may sometimes feel alone, you're definitely watched over and protected. When life is stressful, though, as it has been lately for you, you may not feel the Blessed Mother's loving presence. So carry this card with you to help you know that divine love is here for you. This card also asks you to keep your heart open and continue caring for others, even though you may feel unappreciated or used. Remember that your spiritual path is to be loving and helpful, not to change others. However, you don't need to, nor should you, stay in any abusive or toxic situations or relationships. You can care for someone from afar. Most important, care for yourself, dear one. Take time for you and attend to things that are important for your health, happiness, and well-being. I mean, that just wrapped up your whole reading. That sounded exactly what your reading was about, right? And I'm going to leave it there. I can't top that. Thank you guys, as always. Thank you for the beautiful support of my channel. I appreciate it more than you know. Thank you for the donations. You know, readers don't get a lot of donations. I think that people think that they do, but, you know, I'm lucky to get one or two in the month, so I just want you to know that. So, not that I'm begging for your donation. In no way am I. But thank you for the donations. Thank you for subscribing to the channels. We have some new people who are showing up, and I don't know, I just feel like we want to wrap our arms around them and welcome them to the community. Thank you for sharing this with your friends and family if you feel that, you know, there's a message there for them. Thank you. Maybe that was the seed, you know, that was your seed and what you were meant to do with it. So just thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be me, and thank you for being you. I love you guys. Some of you, check out Sagittarius. You know, I don't know. I feel the connection there. All right, guys. I love you. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.